What's up, spiritual gangsters? This is your OGs
Treese.
and Rain. Welcome to another episode of Trybe Vibes.
So let's get into it.
Hey, that's right. All right, I'm so excited for today. It is our very first installment of our vibe review episode. That's right. We're going to be giving our intake and a little rundown, a little background on artists, episodes, movies, and what have you. But today, very first on our list, we have a singer-songwriter by the name of Justin Nozuka. Woo! Applause, applause, applause. All right, so a lot of you are probably gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Because he's pretty underground, but kind of sort of not really. He is Canadian Japanese, self-described as a folk singer. Like I said, he's a singer-songwriter, so he makes his own stuff. Very creative family. His mom is an artist. His brothers Christian, Henry, and George are all musicians and singers. His brother Philip is an actor. You've probably seen him in Degrassi or such, so forth and have you. And he's actually the nephew of Kevin Bacon.
I don't know who that
So
is.
he's like a... How the fuck you not know who Kevin Bacon is?
His last name is Bacon, no?
I'm done. This is like white people culture. Like he was in Footloose, and he does is the famous 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon about him. So like everybody in Hollywood.
Why is
like,
his last name Bacon?
Nigga, that's his name. What you want from my life?
But how am I supposed to... Obviously, if I heard of a Kevin Bacon, I would remember him.
He's an actor. All right, so about Kira Sedgwick. You heard of her?
No.
That's the wife, his aunt. All right, well, another famous white person. Look her up. So he has a creative family, right? And he also went to an arts high school, which where all of his songwriting began. By his senior year of high school, he had his first album done. It was completed and he was touring it. And the first album is named Holly, after his mom.
That was sweet.
It was very sweet. He was, they actually raised him.
Like after all the years.
Huh?
I was like, after all the years, of, I guess, your mother putting up with you and stuff, it's like your first trophy is like in honor of like their sacrifice.
I know my mom always told me that my first paycheck was hers. But if I could have got away with just naming some shit after her, I would have done that. For real.
Right.
Yeah, he was raised Buddhist too, so his parents are very super chill. And I personally, I think that's where his just connectiveness with nature and people, like all that in his songwriting, the way he emotes so deeply and he has so much soul, I think that's where that comes from. And he is an amazing songwriter. Like, once you listen to the songs that we are going to get into in his albums, you'll hear his ability to just like transport you to like a whole nother fucking world. Like, you're there, right?
He just always sounds emotional, like he's about to cry.
He's always that's just how he sounds.
He's always sad. He's like a Drake, but like it's like Drake words is like his voice, because Drake doesn't always sound like a bitch and emotional.
No, Drake is pretty monotone.
Yeah, he's pretty monotone, but his words are like emotional. So take Drake words and you put it into a voice.
And that's Justin.
That's how I see him.
Because Justin, even though he's singing about happy stuff, he always sounds like
sad, like he's about to cry.
Somebody stole his dog, but in the most beautiful way. He is pretty soulful, and he used to listen to R&B growing up, and you could definitely hear a little bit of that oomph in his Caucasianness. You know what I mean? A little bit. He has a riff or two. A little bit. No? Okay.
It's very like... To me, it's more like, it's like if John Mayer and Jack Johnson, like,
if they had a baby?
Yeah, but the baby wanted to like do its own thing, and the baby was like emotional and like forging his own path, and he was very like
if they had a baby and they like left him in the woods.
Yeah, and then he was able to develop his nature and his
Yeah, he'd be
spirit.
like that Disney princess that'd be like singing with animals and shit.
Right.
But
But
as
then, what the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. Let's talk about that. Introduce the albums because I'm lost.
I don't even know if he would like laugh and appreciate this or be like, what are
I was
these
like, what
fucking
the fuck are
bitches?
these bitches talking about? What
Like,
the fuck are
this
these
is,
bitches
I do
talking
not
about?
approve this review. Copyright, copyright, copyright. Get my
We're
lawyers
gonna
in
be
here.
sued.
But
All right,
I
well,
love
we'll
him.
edit
Like,
that to sound better. Yeah.
I love him though. Like, I really do. But anyways,
I yeah, you're gonna hear how much we love him in this, I promise. All of this is just out of pure love. It's just, I personally am horrible at describing things,
yeah, me
but
too.
we're gonna do our best, which is funny because this is a review, and that's literally the one job is to describe things. So here
Buckle up.
we go.
So we can talk about how we were introduced to his music. So I'll go first. So I was introduced to his music by like really random luck. Basically, I was going through like a hard time. I got like heartbroken when I was like what, like in my 20s. Like maybe we could
Oh,
do a
maybe.
story time on this. I went on a cruise ship and like did the whole Titanic thing and like, got swooped
What?
off my feet. And then,
Oh.
Titanic, like falling in love on like a ship and stuff.
No, no, I know, I got the
Yeah,
reference. I
yeah.
mean, you're still alive, so it didn't sink, right? So yeah.
And then and then when I left, like obviously it didn't work out. So I was like heartbroken and shit. Maybe I'll do a
Oh.
story time on it. So me sulking and shit, I'm like, what did I put in? I think I put like John Mayer into Pandora. If you don't know what Pandora is, it's like a mixer, like I guess kind of like a Spotify, but not really. Like you just put in like a artist or a genre or something, and then it like gives you random or things that are like what you put in to
It
listen to.
mixes a playlist for you based off of your suggestion.
Right. Much better way to
Right.
put it. So
Words and shit, nigga.
use your
I got
words.
words.
So I put in like John Mayer, so it popped up a lot of artists like John Mayer. Like John Mayer, Jack John, just like those type of like sad shit. We actually should do one on John Mayer. But anyways,
Jack Johnson is not really that sad. He's more of like a barefoot hippie type of person. It's more folk. I think that's what you mean. It's more like a folky
yeah,
soul.
but I
They
think I
have their
put in
guitar and they're just gonna sing out their problems and their
because think
issues,
about
and then
because
by the end of the song,
even like John Mayer, like Gravity,
oh my god, I love that song.
or the 1 + 1 and half of the other, and whatever.
What
Anyways,
the actual fuck?
like
What song
one
is
is
that?
um he said like 1, 2 is greater than 1, and then not less than half of 1.
Doing math right now.
Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know, bro. But okay, so John Mayer type music.
Anyways, so and then Justin Nozuka popped up. And I think the first song he popped up was like After Tonight.
Oh,
And that was like his big classic. I think that kind of like helped him like catapult in a lot of
that's
ways.
his single. The one that he's most known for is After Tonight.
Right. So after I listened to that, I was like, oh, he's cool. So I put him in instead, like to see more of his songs. And then I got warped into a different fucking reality, man. My whole life changed.
A little bit of a rabbit hole for sure. Like I said, he wraps you up into
Yeah.
his own world. He has that ability to just like whatever he's singing about, you're literally there and you're experiencing it.
I was contemplating life and circumstance and just everything. Like shit got real really
Real
quick.
fast, real fast, real fast.
So how was you introduced to him?
Probably the most basic way. I saw the music video for After Tonight, and I was like, oh, that song is like, it's R&B. It has an R&B feel. But I was a little boy. I didn't know him, and so then I went into like a internet dive to hear more of his music. And although I feel that he has that R&B sound to his voice, his music definitely is not classified as that. So it was like just down the rabbit hole again, or listening to this type of music, and that was kind of new for me because up until that point, I was in high school at that time, and I was pretty emo, so I was listening to a lot of rock bands. I went through that phase. A lot of my family like thought I was a devil worship or whatever because it was like bracing into metal, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, back to folk music. People with guitars, barefoot, hippie lifestyle, free love type of thing. So that's a different type of turning point for me. But because a lot of his songs are so emotional, it definitely I don't know, drew me in, like songs that we're gonna hear, like "Save Him," which is about a a domestic violence situation, but sung beautifully, and um Mr. Therapy Man, just a lot of, I don't know. I'm more angsty, sad, emo type of vibe, but it's done in such an upbeat way that you feel like, you know, you feel great listening to all the sad boy music.
So with me, with the whole sad boy music thing, it's kind of like we just like name that right now. It's a label
Trademark.
now. But the whole sad boy music thing, like to me, I like listening to like the darkest of the darkest shit because what it does for me is it releases that feeling out of me. Like if I listen to something dark, I feel like I got it out
Mm-hmm.
and it actually makes me feel better afterwards.
For
Now,
sure.
if you're the type of person where you listen to dark and then you get consumed by it, maybe that type of music is not really for you. But I just want to put that out there because some people like they say, "Oh, why you listen to stuff like that?" Or that's super duper dark. Like my sister, she not hates Justin Nozuka, but she just thinks he goes too far. She needs to listen to something like light and bright and
Yeah.
fluffy, you
But
know?
he has that as well. But even his darker stuff, I believe it's two songs that we're going to talk about today, are pretty dark, but they're told as a story. It's a story that he's telling, and honestly, the story behind, I know "Save Him" especially, is it's a made up situation, right? So he went to an arts high school, and in my slight obsession with him when I was younger, I knew that he performed like dance and he was in theater and stuff like that. So storytelling is very much a part of his upbringing. So he was just pulling from a situation, and he created it out of thin air. It's not really relishing it like the metal music that I would listen to. It's like if I'm feeling sad or angry and I turn that on, it'll pump me up, but in a negative way, like I want to fuck some shit up.
Right.
It's like I'm feeling sad, but you know what? There are dandelions in the world. You know what I mean?
You want to get into the time where we connected on Justin Azuka?
Oh yeah. We personally we met. We went to the same college, and then I just stopped going to college. Um, but I don't think,
That could be a story time.
girl, that's a therapy session. Uh, but I think I was visiting you in college at the time, right?
Yes, he was
I don't
visiting.
think I still went there. I was visiting. I went there all the time for the parties, and then just scoot the doop back home before classes start. Um, so I was up there visiting you and a mutual friend who will remain nameless.
Okay. Just call her Lizzie.
Okay. All right. So for this story purpose, we're going to call her Lizzie. And the three of us, we were just shooting the shit, talking, and I I don't remember how he came up. Do you remember how he came up?
I think he came up so randomly and we all like just started screaming.
I want to say like one of us was looking at his like a notification about his concert going to be in the city, right? Because we lived in New York at the time.
Right.
And I heard his name and I squeal. I have a patent high pitched squeal when I'm excited. Um, and I squealed and I was like, oh my god, you know him? Because nobody listens to the music that I listen to. I know nothing but random shit that everyone's like, who is that person? But I was so excited, and it caught me off guard the fact that you and her both listened to it, because you You're a down ass bitch and you're about real nigga things, you know? At that time, I think you were on your Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar wave. And I was like, you listen to Justin
Listen,
Nozuka? You're like, yeah,
I
bitch.
I'm a multifaceted onion,
No,
okay?
you are. And I'm sorry
I'm
for you
not a
guys to
monolith
listen.
of a being. I am uber dynamic.
Of course, but we weren't that deep back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that's the first
yeah.
sign that I'm like, okay, this bitch about, she about the hippie life, you know?
And that's sidebar. That's what people assume lots of times when they meet people. Like they think that like, oh, they'll only be into this and they'll only be into that. So I would just ask everyone to get to know people and actually ask them what they're into, and then you can create deeper, more meaningful relationships instead of just assuming shit about
Yeah.
people.
No, I mean, I know your
No, I don't mean that
personality is
about
very
you. I'm just saying
multifaceted.
in general.
I just didn't know that you listened to that music as well. So we all started squealing like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go
Right.
together. And then we went.
Yeah.
And what
So
happened?
we ended up going to the concert. I think it was at like Rebel in New York City, this like club or whatever.
Hero. It was the no, it was Hero was the name of the club. I remember because during the concert he was like, "This is so special to me. Hero's my dad's name. What a special time and a moment to be here. I'm honored." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, we love you too. I don't
His
know."
dad name is Hero.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. You don't remember that part? I remember so
that's
much
a
of that
hell of
concert.
a
I was
dad name.
mesmerized.
So
He's Japanese, bro.
yeah.
Hiro.
Age. Oh, the
Right,
ignorance,
right, right. It's okay.
ignorance, the shame. So anyway,
Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Hiro,
it's
Hiro,
probably
something like
Hyro,
that.
bitch.
Probably. See, look at us again. Look at us. Look at us.
Y'all all know we don't know how to pronounce shit. Anyways, so we went to the concert and it was actually a really good experience. Like we were able to look like directly into his eyes, and his band was there. It was at the time where he had a band,
Yes.
so like his whole band was like so cool, so dope, so down to earth.
Oh,
They just they played the shit out of all his songs.
oh my
Like
gosh.
it was dope, and the mood, like the people we met, and like the mood and the vibe, it was just so like loving.
It was all love in the whole room. You could feel
Yeah,
that. It was probably that's like I think that was like the first time that I went to a concert that was like the whole fucking vibe of the night was just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was just like love, man. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
it was
It was
amazing.
awesome.
So then at the end, he was so nice. His band and stuff is so down to earth. They literally at the end of the concert walked into the crowd like on some real G shit.
Yep. They met
G
and took
shit.
pictures with every single person there. I got, I know I got my poster signed by him twice, and Justin Nozuka himself went up to us, our little trio, and I know everybody was asking for pictures, and he looked me in my eyes, basically waiting for me to like ask for a picture, an autograph, or say something, and I couldn't say anything because his eyes are beautiful, and he has this it's not even just like he's a pretty type of thing, but he's one of those people that like when they look at you they look directly into your eyeballs, you know what I mean,
Right,
like
really
soul searching
intense.
type of deep. And I was just like
It's like you want to hide,
yes.
hide or melt.
But it was, yeah, it was great. But we took a picture. We all yeah, you have pictures of him, right?
No, I didn't take a picture.
No, oh, you took a picture of me. Okay, this one girl came up to me and was like, "Oh my god, my camera died," because this is back when nobody had camera phones. It was like a
Mm.
camera or a phone. And she was like, "My camera died. Can you take a picture and email it to me?" And I was like, "Sure." And I jumped in the picture too. And you took the picture of us, of me, him, and her.
Right.
And you cut me half out the picture. I'm like, "Bitch, I'm your friend. I'm your friend." What? What?
I know he put a smiley. He put a smiley face on my. I think it was him. It was him or one of his bandmates put like a smiley face on my poster.
His bandmates are so cool. And the
Yeah,
bass player,
and
I
fine,
remember he was talking about, huh?
and fine.
And fine, of course, of course. of course. The bass player, JB, I want to say, he was walking around with a whiskey in his hand, just like shooting the shit with people, like just talking. And I think he was a little drunk at that time, and he like was talking and accidentally spilled some on Lizzie's feet. And he was like, "Oh no, your toes!" Okay.
They were just so like down to earth, like the
So
most down to
chill. It
earth
was a
people,
really amazing experience. They were super, super cool.
chill vibes. Like we had a great night. Like it was just amazing. This is like enough said. Like it was just,
Yeah, it was dope.
it was dope, a dope experience. And we went to his concert a second time when you came out to New York City. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I'm always visiting
And then
bitches.
we
Look at
saw him.
that.
I think we saw him at, was it Webster Hall? Yes, it was Webster
Yes, it
Hall.
was.
We
Yes.
went and we saw him again. Whenever he's in town, we coming through. We pulling up. Like straight
All
up.
day.
All day.
Skirt, skirt.
I know, right? No worries. Like, ready. Like, and that concert was amazing too.
It was a different experience, though.
Yeah, it was very different. It was more sonic. Like the sounds and everything kind of like carried more.
Yes.
It was more
And
of like
that,
a experience, like as if like I was alone in the ocean and I went through like all the seasons, like kind of like I went through like the rainy
oh,
season,
were you high?
the hurricanes, the waves, and then like the sun comes out and then it's like beautiful and then like it just kept drawing me in like yeah, I think I
Yeah,
was
well, that
smoking
had a
weed.
lot to do with the fact that it was two different albums, so two wildly different sounds, which we'll get into because we're going to do a bit of an album by album review description.
Right. So now we're going to get into the fun stuff. We're going to go album by album. He has 4
Ooh.
albums. And then we'll do like a specific song review of like a song that wasn't on an album like a little bit later. But we're
Yeah,
going to
an unofficial release of a song that we are obsessed with.
obsess. Probably one of his darkest songs.
Yes.
Yeah, probably one of his darkest songs. Anyways, so his first album was called Holly. He made the album in 2005 when he was only 16, 17 years old. Like that shit is crazy.
Crazy.
Right. So I really love this album because it was very like simple and deep at the same time.
Right.
It had like so many different melodies, but the thing about the song, it was very like not the song, the album. The album is very bipolar. Like if you listen to the album from like top to bottom, one song will be happy, merry, like I'm in love, everything's all good, and the next song is like you broke my heart, and then the
Yeah.
next song would be like I'm throwing bottles in the air, I'm a criminal, I'm a badass, and then the next song would be like you know, baby's dying. And I'll
Oh
be
my God.
like,
Yeah, the domestic violence. See,
I'll
now,
be like, what the fuck?
yeah, because he was so young when it was released, he himself said that it was not a planned collection. It was just a collection of songs. And being that young, like he had different influences. His influence ranged from like Lauryn Hill to Ray LaMontagne, which is like a Jack Johnson type of feel, and like blues people. Like it was so all over the place. So he was just trying to like, most albums there's like an up or a down, and there's a story being told because it's like a whole journey that there's just like ACFQL3R, but it's great.
But don't get me wrong, each song though was amazing.
Of
Like
course,
it's some really good shit.
of course,
But the album as like a cohesive unit was just all over the fucking
yeah,
place. Like when I listened to these songs, I didn't realize they belonged to the same album. Like I was just listening to the songs like randomly on Pandora, like I
yeah,
was explaining before, and I would just hear them, but I didn't think they were a part of the same piece until
yeah,
later
yeah. They don't
on.
sound like a collection. They're pretty random.
So what's your couple of your favorite songs off the album?
All right, my two standout tracks on this album is After Tonight because I'm a basic bitch, and Golden Train because I am a basic bitch. But these songs, these are just like so sappy, like soul, like I love you type of feels. After Tonight was his big single, the one that he still gets recognition from. Like people hear the song, they might not know him, but they'll know the song, you know? And I don't know, the lyrics are kind of nasty for a little boy that was singing it at the time. Like after tonight, like I know after tonight you're gonna be looking at the stars no more, right?
I don't think he meant it like that. I think
Yes,
you're
he
just
did.
nasty,
Oh
bitch.
boy's
You're
nasty.
just nasty. You're putting
Yes,
your
he did.
nastiness on a
Yes, he did.
16-year-old boy.
Listen to the lyrics, bro. I know after tonight. What's happening tonight, Justin?
We
What are we
looking
doing
in the
tonight?
stars
Hmm?
and holding
A drum
hands and
circle?
falling
You
in love.
lying? No.
Girl, bye.
But Golden Train, that one's like super sappy, romantic. Like uh, the chorus tomorrow. If a golden train were to take you away, will you go or would you
Go.
stay with me? And it's just like, oh my god, stay with you, Justin. It's like so sweet, and his vocals are like buttery and like
It's dreamy. It's very
yeah, it's
dreamy.
very
Yeah.
dreamy. What are your standouts from that album?
You broke my heart when you said goodbye. Only you can lift my
I was,
spirits.
I was hoping for a title.
Supposed to grow old. I love that song.
Oh yeah. See,
It's
I
like
like all the
it's so
sappy love stuff, and you like all the heartbreak.
yeah, right. I told you I get very negative with my music because it's like he just like oh well also because I'm connected because remember I said I got my heart broken and then I
Right, right,
started
right. That's
listening to
where you
him.
were at the
So
time. That's why. Yeah.
yes, so that's probably why these songs probably have a special place in my heart. It helped me get over heartache.
What's his
But
name? No, I'm kidding.
I'll put his phone number up here so everybody can call him. um so it's just such a deep song, like even how the way his voice cracks when he says heart,
Um,
you know what I mean, or when he says my, like you broke my, like he this is what I was talking about in the beginning. And
what's her name?
I
Taking
know,
names
right?
over here.
Who hurt you, Justin?
Fuck that
I'm gonna go
bitch.
beat her up. But it's just so amazing. And then like you get really into like the emotion of the song, and like that's what makes him somebody that I love as an artist, to foster emotions out of somebody else
Mm,
because of your music. Like that shit is dope. So I love that song. I like Mr. Therapy Man too, because it's kind of like a upbeat sad song.
I honestly I like the video probably the most. Is very very creative. You remember the video where he's like a clown? It's not Justin himself, I don't think, but the guy is like a clown. And no,
I don't
you
know.
don't
I
remember?
don't remember. Mm-mm.
Look it up again. The video is pretty cool.
But I like Mr. Therapy Man. And then obviously the first time I heard Save Him, I was like, I need to listen to Justin Nozuka every day.
Ooh, okay, save
And you know
him.
what? This is what I like about the song. The beginning and the end, like he's so fucking poetic, is fucking ridiculous. Like how you say the same thing in the beginning of the song and the end of the song and they mean two fucking different things.
Two different things.
Like he made like it's like he made like poetry, an essay, a story, like
Dissertation,
emotional.
nigga.
Yeah, it was
All of
like
that.
everything in fucking one. Like it was fucking ridiculous. Like he loves her more because in the beginning you think it's sweet. I thought I was gonna
Say
get
the
into a
say the
sweet ass
line.
song.
What's the lyric?
She goes, he loves her more, she loves her more. Seems like they'll never let each other go. Laughing and kissing. It's a match made in heaven or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy because that's how people get in these situations.
All right. So
Everything's so fucking beautiful in the beginning.
yeah. So
You
save
know what
him
I
is
mean?
about a relationship that turns into domestic violence and ultimately
Death.
ends in a murder suicide. So fun song, fun little ditty, but
But it's crazy because in
it's
the
sang
beginning, when
beautifully.
he said that line, I'm thinking I'm about to get into a nice love story. And that's like a metaphor for like how certain people get into these relationships. It's never
Absolutely.
bad in the beginning. Well, not never, but
No.
most of the time it's not bad in the beginning, but things slowly creep up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's not that people place themselves in these situations. These situations like came at people, and people thought that, oh, everything's fine, everything's good. And then all of a sudden, little by little, or one day, like all hell breaks loose,
Yeah.
you know? And then even in the song where he was talking about like the reason why she probably stayed, her father like messed with her, and she had a abuse, from her dad.
Yeah.
And then now she's dealing with abuse now. It was like so much foreshadowing. I can literally write an essay. I'm about to write a motherfucking essay on this shit.
Okay. It'll
Like
probably be
straight up.
attached.
Like, I'm about to write a whole essay on this one song, because to be 16, 17 years old and be so in depth and be such good at like writing and doing these things like foreshadowing and metaphors, and the way he did his imagery just off of the words he was saying, it was just all so fucking amazing.
I mean, the words alone are beautiful, but once again, the way that he sang it and the emotion that came through in his voice and his little riffs, little notes and shit that he could hit. Like, oh, okay, you got a little soul in you. Her little Lauryn Hill influence in a riff or two.
That was his fucking life story.
Me too. I thought I was looking up stuff about his mom. Like, is his mom?
It's like, how's his mom?
Holly.
I thought his mom died. It was by the hands of his father and shit. I was like,
she's like smiling and like painting photos, and I'm like, I hated his father. I'm like, I didn't even know this nigga.
I was like, what kind of upbringing did you have?
He needs a hug. Wait,
I was really concerned.
Same. Like, fuck.
And I'm like, he had a wonderful upbringing.
Where's CPS? He's not 18 yet.
I'm like, he had a wonderful upbringing with both parents. What the fuck is this shit?
Man, mad siblings.
I was like,
related to Kevin Bacon. I was like, even though you don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
But it was just like, the fuck? Like,
it hits you. That song hits you. And definitely that's a trigger warning. But that song, that hits you, and it'll, the first time anybody hears that song, I've yet to see them not tear up.
I'd be like, save him, save him.
From the hand that, damn it, you got me singing. I said I
told you would sing.
Damn it.
And then even at the end, when he says it again, I know I keep repeating myself, but it was like the message changed. It's like he loves her more, she loves her more. And it's kind of like, it's just fucked up, because he, I guess, in a way, loved her so much and was so troubled that he killed her and himself.
Yeah.
Like, it's tragic, like, but in the most like horrible way.
Yeah.
And like,
because the song alludes to the fact that they're like tattooed on their ring fingers, and it prints the ink deep in the inner. So they have such a deep connection. So that's probably why he killed the both of them, so that they could be together on the other side.
Match made in heaven. In heaven. That shit hit different the second time.
No, we caught that. No, we see what you did.
The second time that shit hit different. Like, in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I was like, match made in heaven, like, because they're dead.
Wait, no, we get that.
Making it clear for the bitches in the back.
We got that. Bitches in the back said clear.
It's just crazy. The back said clear. Like, yo, like, okay, I gotta stop talking about this song, because I'm just gonna keep going ham.
Yes, let's move on to his second album, his sophomore album, my personal favorite album, called You, I, Wind, Land, and Sea. It was released 2010. Now the original title for this album, he said, was supposed to be called Gray, because gray meant to him balance, right? But then he was like, maybe that's like not what it means to other people, so let me just call it You, I, Wind, Land, and Sea, like this whole interconnectedness. And this album is definitely planned. It was more planned, where he wanted like a set feel for this album, and you could definitely feel that, and that reflects in the songs. because it has this whole theme of like balance and grounding and a return to nature and just this bluesy, deep, rich feel that like hits you in the soul parts.
You think it's balanced? I don't think it's balanced. I think most of his songs they sound nice, but they're fucked up.
What?
It's like the most fucked up songs.
Well, okay, the ones that I'm going to talk about, I definitely feel. So, I know in the first album, my favorites were the poppy love songs, but in this one, all of my favorites were the depressing, sad ones.
And let's keep in mind, also he had a band at this time.
Yeah, so the sound was a big band sound,
Yeah.
which I love because I felt like it rounded out his the tone of his voice, which was
hmm
is usually like a slow and dreamy type of feel.
The music in the band was just as important in this particular album as his words were because they did a really good job, like on
Oh,
taking you on a
yeah.
journey also. So we can't skip the instrumentals. And then I just want to point out the artwork. He's like it's like a whole bunch of crowd and he's like in the middle of the crowd chilling.
hmm
And I really like that.
Of course, and that's where I feel like the balance comes from because once you are at peace and you are grounded, then you can't. It's hard for you to be shaken, right?
I,
So a lot of the
I don't think
songs
he
in there.
was grounded.
No, I'm talking about the picture.
Oh yeah, the picture.
Yeah, you
But
had
these
that sense
songs
that
are
like
like
he's calm and he's chill. Well, it's not okay. It's really a call to return to balance and to harmony.
okay,
It's
I
it's
agree
not
with
okay.
that.
So I retract my original statement. It's a call
Okay.
to return to balance and harmony.
Okay. Because I'm
Um,
like, these songs are they
well, okay, so it's a needing for that, right?
okay,
So
I understand.
yeah. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is well, all of these are I like the whole album. The whole album is a whole bunch of bops. It's all the beats and none of the boops. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any favorites.
So this one like these are the three most prevalent. Like they hit me the hardest upon first hearing them. Was Gray, that song which originally was going to be the title of the album, and just first and foremost the drums in that song had that tribal primitive feel. That do 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 do. I'm like yes, nigga, come through, yeah. And the words at first hearing them sound a bit suicidal, but they're not. I'm just so the song goes, "Stars of gray, come take my soul away. I've lost my way, come take my soul away." So, and then he calls to the mountains and then the sun, for the same. And but after learning about what gray means to him, which is this balance, because black and white, but when they're perfectly in balance, it becomes gray, the good and the bad, up and the down. Um, so when it's stars of gray, come take my soul away, I've lost my way. Like these parts of nature, this whatever that is bigger than myself, right? This big greatness that is in balance. I've lost who I am. I've lost my way. Come, like, come take my soul away. Like, come right my wrongs and reset me. Hit the reset button real quick, type of thing. You know what I mean?
That's
So
beautiful.
I feel like that, along with the other two songs I'm going to talk about, kind of alludes to depression, which I know that he spoke of dealing with, and I do myself. So that I feel like that's why they call to me the most. But it's like just the sound, that big band sound. It's I don't know. That one hit me in the heart ports.
No, yeah, I think that song was really deep. I
It's
agree.
dope,
It's
deep
like
and
you're
dope.
calling on the universe to do what
Yes,
nature does, and nature corrects
yes.
always. Maybe not on time when you want it to, but it always is trying to correct itself. So, and that's a part of us too, because we are a part of nature. It's just most of us don't look at ourselves as like nature, but that's what we are because we have this like consciousness, and sometimes that consciousness kind of takes over and imbalances us. So I feel like it was like just a ceremonial call to
Oh,
nature. It was just
yes, you are
beautiful.
so eloquent, bitch. Oh my god. That was well said and shit. You like took my
Thank
ramblings.
you.
You always do that. You take my ramblings and you make it make sense, Jesus.
And then the song that well, I guess a couple songs I liked off of it was obviously My Heart Is Yours. That's like a
Ah,
commercial, nice,
yeah,
happy,
that was
sweet song.
his
That was like
single.
his after tonight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes, yes. His
Of
trying
the
to get on the
album.
radio
Right. But
thing.
it's still beautiful. Like he's the type of
Of
person he could do
course.
something commercially and it's still so authentic and like,
Dope.
amazing. So, it was really dope. And the music video was so nice and
It
pure and
was
they were like
so
all around
cute.
Cali. Yeah.
It
And
was so cute.
Cali vibes and stuff is always pretty nice. So, I like that song. Then also Hollow Man. First of
Oh,
all, the riff just in general,
oh, how
like
did I forget about that song?
his chords are just like so simple, but it draws you in.
Yes,
Like,
because his voice, his emotion, and the words just take you to another fucking place.
I remember just last spring,
Mm. Singer.
here inside my memory, I sing
Yes, girl. Hit that
all
riff.
around me,
Who's around
hollow
you?
man,
Amen.
trembling at the thought of falling. So it's like he's trembling at the thought of falling in. I still kind of get the song, but don't get it. I think he's like surrounded by like just lower level people and lower level things, and he's scared of getting absorbed into like that environment. So he wants to just like shoot away, to like some a better place or a better state of being or something.
Absolutely. That's what I got out of that. Yeah, all around me,
So,
Hollow people who are, I mean, that's how I feel a lot. Just being around a lot of materialistic people or people that are only, they're driven by physical and things that you could touch. There's nothing on the
right.
inside. Still.
And then the last song that I really like off the album is Carried You, because it's a little more upbeat and it's
Oh,
like,
that's
I
carry, carry
carried you,
you.
carried down to the ground. Yeah. I'm singing so we don't get copyright.
Copyright infringement.
That's why. So I have to sing the songs so we
I
don't get
don't
sued.
fully know what that song is about, though.
It's like
The brothers battling.
I look at it as like I did so much things for you, and like I'm suffering,
Okay, I get that. I mean, it's still a bop.
right?
Now, I'm just gonna go over these two songs real quick because they need a mention, but I'm not gonna dwell on these songs, but they're my everything. Swan in the Water. It's about a spiritual dance, a back and forth of trying to find your way back to being spiritually balanced. I feel he like asked his families, "What should I do?" Like, I went to my mother, I went to my father, I went to my brother, and he's like, "All right, leave me alone," because ultimately it's like a personal journey. And then How Low, which is another. It's literally just him and his guitar, but the notes that he uses and his voice, it mimics waves. It goes, ooh, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. That up and down in the oohing and then the up and down in the strumming, it mimics being in the ocean, which is what he sings about in the first place. And once again, I believe like alludes to his depression because the up and down of the emotion. I don't know, it's just beautifully, beautifully done. Super sad.
Hollow is definitely really deep. Like
Yes, love
that song tears me apart.
it. I love it.
But Swan in the Water, I want to bring up. Does he say when he's saying "leave me alone"? Is he saying that's what he's telling them, or that's what they're doing to him? Because that's what I was always confused about. For instance, when he said, like he went to his dad, right?
Yeah, my father tried to save me. He said, believe in the spirit of God. Now leave me alone.
Right. So did he tell them, whatever, leave me alone? Because, it's like bullshit or whatever. Or did they leave him alone because he wasn't getting it? You know what I mean? You know how like you try to tell somebody something and they're still lost?
Yeah. No, I understand. And you're like, okay, so do this, and then just
And then they move along. They're
wave
just
you
like,
off.
whatever.
Well,
Like,
I always took it where they gave advice because just in the line, my father tried to save me. You say, believe in the spirit of God, leave me alone. And at the end, when he went to his family, where his last one was his sister. My sister
she couldn't
understand
understand.
it's not how I stand, but where I stand. And you walk and you walk and you walk, and then you something like that. I don't remember, but I feel like
He
it's
said you
let's go.
talk and you walk.
Okay, oh, maybe you're right because you talk and you talk and you talk and then you walk.
Because it's like, I feel like I took it as like all these people giving advice and stuff like that, and they're still going on with their lives, and kind of like no one's really understanding him really, because he's looking, like the whole swan in the water metaphor, where like you look so graceful over the water but you're working so hard and no one sees
Yeah,
how hard I'm working, or the pain I'm in and how I'm burning and how I'm suffering. They leave me alone because I look okay even though I'm seeking advice and trying to do stuff. And that connected with me so much because I'm that type of person. Like, I always look cool, calm, and collected. I always look like I have my shit together, even if inside, like, I'm just like torn apart. Like, I'm not the type of person you'll see and like I'm going through something. Like, you have to actually like be invested in my life to know that. So it's like I look so graceful, but I'm working so hard and I'm so fucked up inside. And like no one is fucking listening. Like no one's really fucking understanding like what is going on with me, or even enough to help me, because my sister tried to understand but then she just doesn't get it. Like nobody fucking gets it.
okay, I get that then. That's a different spin. No, I mean like that's what I kind of took it as that like people were just giving them advice because it's kind of the same thing where it's like you give them the advice like here just try this and like no leave me alone because they don't understand it's something that you just can't it's not a 1-2 fix
Okay,
just like they
Justin,
don't.
we're gonna need you to DM us or something and let us know if your people you were asking for help, did they leave you alone after the conversation, or did you want them to leave you alone? Please clarify.
I did ask him. I'm so proud of myself. I asked him a question and made it to an interview and it was like a 2 paragraph type of question and they whittled it down to what is the meaning behind the song. I was like, oh fuck you, I had like a whole dissertation over there.
They don't want the whole dissertation.
No.
But yeah, overall, like that album was like, it was just mixed with
Oh,
so much, like from the instrumentals, as we said, to the actual words, to the actual dynamics of the music and the feelings. Everything was just like, it was like Holly on crack,
that's what it was. It was more planned
straight
and a
up.
bigger sound for sure. But that's the album that we the first concert that we went to together. So that's why the vibe was just totally on point because
Wasn't this
message
one
and
the second
sound.
one?
I'm sorry?
No, no, no. The first concert we went to, he did Holly. The second
No.
concert we went to, he did You, I, Wind, Land, and Sea.
That's nope. The first concert we went to, he was UI Winland Sea, and then the second concert was Ulysses, and we went there and we were like, "Is he okay?"
Oh, yeah. We were asking if he was okay.
He was touring this
Yeah, you're right.
album.
You're
Yeah, I
right.
mean that's the
I was
next.
high as shit the second one. I think that's why
I
I
was
kind of like.
drunk. That's why I wasn't high. I was drunk. But I was just so concerned for him. But I mean that's the album that we're gonna get into now. But I
Let's get into
believe
it.
yeah, let's get into it here. So he wrote that after UI Winland C, he was going through a depressive state, which we kind of heard. It was his first self-produced album entirely, and I know he said in an interview that up until that point he's been touring for like 6 or 7 years nonstop since he was in high school. He's just album after album, just these international tours, and he felt exhausted creatively, so he took a big gamble and just wanted to create art for art's sake, just to like reset himself. Which I mean, I get, as you know, artistically understand, but just the sound was completely different than what we were used to hearing. I know me personally, like I said, my first impression was, is he okay? Like, does he need a hug? I am here. Um,
I
but
have
yeah.
breasts.
Huh? What?
I said he can have my breasts.
Oh, yes, both of them. Thelma and Louise, girl.
I know with this album, he was saying he broke up with his band. Well, I don't think broke up, but he just didn't like
They
have a
separated.
band for the
Yeah.
album. They separated, and maybe that's a better way to say it. He did it in seclusion. He said he was feeling like unfulfilled. Like you said, he was depressed. He was around 22, 23 years
Which is
old.
like
He was,
crazy.
yeah, he's been through a lot. And then he ended up getting a place in Toronto where he stayed and produced this album. He wanted to like take a chance, and it took him 4 years to make this album.
Wow.
And like you said, he was saying how he was so scared. And this is him during an interview, what I'm quoting. He was saying he was scared. It was scary going against the grain, but he felt like it was essential to his well-being. And it was a necessary break. It's like he felt like he needed to let things go and express himself. He kind of compared it to like stretching. Like he needed to
Mm,
just stretch after, all those years of whatnot. And it's ironic because we were just saying his last album was about balance. So it's like, it's funny how art isn't always reflective of your life and what you're going through,
I
because
mean,
it's
and
like,
sometimes it is, but just not at the moment. You know what I mean? Because life
right.
imitated art after the fact.
So like even though we liked his last album, UI When Land and Sea, better than Ulysses kind of was his UI When Land and Sea to us.
Mm,
Because with UI When Land and Sea, we felt like balance and like the stretching and the deepness and stuff.
right.
But he expressed that really through Ulysses for himself. So it's just pretty interesting
Yeah.
because we took something different out of Ulysses.
Yeah. So I get that, and I like how you put that. Where in the second album he's talking about returning to that balance, and in Ulysses, the third album, he's actually living that and expressing it and emoting what's it like to, I guess, go through the process or to be in that balance. I like that.
Right.
Well said, girl.
So I didn't like the album when I first listened to it. I just felt like it was just like a bunch of sound, a bunch of instrumentals, which is cool and all, but it kind of threw me off because like that's not why I listen to him.
That's not what I come
I
to you
love
for.
that voice. Yeah, this is not what I come to you for. But then as I had like weary nights, whether I was like drunk or high or, just going through something,
Needing
I
that
kind
balance.
of yeah, it kind of fed me a little bit, and I kind of understood what he was trying to get. First off, just off jump, like even without being high, drunk, or emotional, Blue Velvet Sea has always been my shit. Not the one on the album. I don't really like the way the one on the album is, but he did another mix that you can find on YouTube somewhere. It's more upbeat version of the song. Oh my God, like the imagery and the sound and the way the song makes me feel is just like fucking amazing. Like you feel like you're literally in the Blue Velvet Sea and you're in the story and seeing these fucking mermaids. Like
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
that's his pen, man. That's his pen and his voice. That's you feel like you just hit the blunt, even though you didn't.
Like I feel like if I had a whole album of Blue Velvet Sea, I would have like literally like just like came in my pants. Like it would
Oh,
have been ridiculous.
oh,
Like like
I, I was
I
not ready for that at
like,
all.
and that's what
At
I
all.
expected. I expected a whole Blue Velvet Sea album. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, that song was amazing. My favorite song, probably one of my favorite songs that he's ever done. And you're still laughing.
I'm clutching
I
my
just
pearls,
love
girl.
Blue
I
Velvet
wasn't
Scene.
ready. Um,
And then another song I like is Sweet Lover. I just like
aw,
the balance of like instrumentals, and his voice was like super dynamic in this song. And then Dreaming was really good too, because his voice was just like powerful and pure and like just enough. Like it was just, it's kind of like I get the whole meditative trance of releasing
yes. Yeah.
and like really delving into yourself in a way that's healing. So I ended up really liking those songs. And I don't hate the album anymore. Actually, I can appreciate the album. I like the album.
I feel absolutely the same because honestly, even the day that we sat down to discuss covering Justin Nozuka, I was adamant about, you know, not liking Ulysses at all. I was like, I'm just gonna skip over that. But it's very, yeah, but it's very important, like in his process as an artist and his progression and growth. So I re-listened to it with, new ears, mature ears, and I completely understand. Like I get that vibe now that, like you were saying, that trance thing. It's sometimes you need that to put you just to hit you in the chest and tell you to calm down. You know what I mean? So the song that set up the most to me, one of my favorites on this album, was "Right by You." Another love song, "Sue Me." I love it. Wait, don't sue me because we're not gonna play it. You can't sue me. Um, it's melodic and I don't know.
Oh,
Sing it,
I
girl.
will do right by you.
Yes. So at first, so okay, again,
Oh.
we're just gonna do the whole chorus. No, like at the first time I heard it, it was, a love song. But then after hearing the story behind the album, I kind of heard it as a song to himself, like declaring, "I'm gonna do right by you," and he's searching, you know, show me the meaning of true love. Like that's something that he was looking for within himself. He's declaring, "I'm gonna do right by you." Like after hearing the process about like how touring was so strenuous and everything for him, and he needed that break. He's like telling himself, "I'm gonna do this for me." You know what I mean?
Oh.
That's what I got. Justin,
I
I don't know. But I'm just probably bullshitting, but that's what I heard.
I like the visuals. If you saw, it was like woods and nature and stuff. It was very like natural. That's what I
Exactly. It's
liked.
that return to balance.
Right. It was dope.
Natura. And
So this album was I.
it was alright. Had some folksy. It was alright.
Oh, I will do right by you.
All of Teresa's covers are gonna be linked below. We dropping a
I'm gonna
mixtape.
make an album.
We dropping a mixtape.
I'm gonna come for all your artists. I'm really gonna literally sing the same songs, like the whole song verbatim of like everybody's fucking album, and I'm gonna come out with my own motherfucking mixtape. Watch,
They're gonna
I'm gonna make
sue the
mad
shit out
money.
of you.
Same music, everything. Just my voice.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna get sued. It's great.
Anyways, so then we have his last album, Run to the Waters. This album, like when I first
Run
listened
to
to it,
waters.
oh yeah.
We doing it again. We doing it again.
Run to Waters. So when I first heard this album, I was like, Justin, we gotta talk. Like, I don't listen to you for this happy shit. Like, this is not why I signed up.
This is another Ulysses. This is not why I come to you.
This is not why I came hunty. This is not what I came for. Like, come on. Like, what is going on?
Oh my
Like,
god.
I was kind of upset, but then I was like, you know what? I should be happy that he's happy. So I was just
Yeah, you
like,
can't be. It's like it's like Adele. You know, now in her life, she's skinty. She's a skinny legend. She's happy from divorce. You know, she chilling, live her best life. I was like, ooh, what the music gonna sound like? Like, let her live.
Right.
Let Justin live.
But the funny part is, anytime I've ever criticized Justin, it was really just my expectations blocking me from actually listening to and accepting the music. So it was really like my own ego bringing into it. Because
And
I'm trying to tell somebody how they should be artistic. Like, that's stupid. Like, so I had to check myself a couple of times.
and
But,
same. That is the exact same things. Like he be putting out masterpieces. You know what I mean? He be
right.
dropping Mona Lisas. It was like, who's this bitch? But then you gotta stop and appreciate and look at it and be like, oh, that's beautiful as hell.
And then when I looked back on the last album, um, I was just kind of like, this is actually dope. Like, it's actually like beautiful. Like, and I really delved into a lot of the songs and I was like, it's just as amazing. Basically, like he was saying in like an interview that he wanted to bring the tempo and rhythm and life back into his music. And he felt
Mm.
like it was a combination of his first three albums, especially the first two.
I
But
don't
I
hear
think
the second
more,
album. I don't hear the second album. I hear Holly and I hear Ulysses, but I don't really hear because you
I
want
hear a little bit. Think of Gray and
okay.
uh think of more, what's the other song? Think of more Gray and How Low.
Oh, okay, those are two songs,
My
but the
Heart
album
Is
as a
Yours.
whole, had that big band sound where everything was a little bit more rounded out. So if like in the last album, I definitely hear what was reminiscent of him self-producing. Like the sounds are more trance-like and they're breezy, they're happier, they're more upbeat in tone, but I don't feel like it was as rounded out as the second
I,
album because there was
I
no
think it was
band.
just evolved. I think that he
Well, yeah,
just
of
shedded
course.
his skin. Like he shed, like you can say, okay, it wasn't as rounded, but he shedded his skin.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking it.
You
I'm just
know?
saying I don't hear the
Like
influence of the second album. It was more of his first and his third. So definitely it was like an evolvement, like once again as an artist and a progression.
he's a phoenix.
Wait, they don't do that.
You stupid bitch. I said phoenix bitch.
What sound does a phoenix makes, motherfucker?
They don't make noise.
Wait, are they mythical?
Yes, bitch. They're the ones that die with the fire and then the flames and they come back anew and shit.
Right.
Think of Harry Potter.
Got you. Slithering and shit.
I didn't say Slytherin. Get your life. Anyways,
Woo.
I liked it because I felt like it captured the simple feelings of just being out in nature, freedom of the road. Like when you looked at his visuals for some of his music videos, it was like camping trips with friends and just living life and just running. Even like his
Oh,
artwork.
pause. Did you peep Philip in that one
Who's
song
Philip?
video? Did you peep his brother? What the fuck you mean who's Philip?
Oh, sorry, don't kill me. Shit.
His brother, the actor.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
He's the one that looks like him but with short hair in the video.
Maybe.
Was it not? I don't remember what song it is now. Son of a bitch.
Because like even in general, like for me, it was just like a positive meditative trance across life and circumstance. Like, and plus the
Hold up.
artwork
Say that again. Say that again.
in general, the album for me was a positive meditative trance across life and circumstance.
Ooh, bitch.
And his artwork was on point. Like the blurred person, like running on the beach, like that was cool. Cause to me, it just developed like it just meant like freedom and peace and just pure love and enjoyment without like specificity of like anything, whether it be like a direction or a person or anything. It was just like you just releasing everything inside of you and just like yelling on the beach and
Absolutely.
like being with nature.
That moment of surrender to nature and your environment.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And the song on that album, it's really my most favorite song, the only one I'm going to talk about. But I mean I like more, but No Place in Mind.
Yeah, that was good.
It's breezy. He said that it described a summer day, which I 1,000% agree. Well, the summers that I go outside, it it described that, and it's like it feels like wandering through the forest, but in a good way.
Right.
Like you're just like you were saying, basically describing like abandoning all of your problems, and it's like, we're here right now. Let's
It was like
party on.
walking aimlessly and just
Yeah,
experiencing and appreciating life,
wow.
relaxing. It really calms the anxiety of like where my life is going to go. I felt like it doesn't matter. Like we're here.
Yes,
That's it. That's all that matters is that we're here.
right
Like that's
now,
literally
right
all that
now.
matters. It doesn't matter where we're going, what's happening. It's just we're here. Like that's powerful. Like we are here.
No, honestly, like it sounds simple, but that I mean, you fucking exist, bro. We
We are here,
we're
people.
in
We are
we're in
fucking
this bitch.
here
We're not in that bitch. We're in this bitch.
right now. Like, isn't that so, like, sidebar, isn't that so fucking amazing?
And
Like, we're
fun,
here
yes.
right fucking now.
People,
Like,
you have to experience the moment before you lose it. That's what Eminem said, something like that, right?
come on,
You got
people.
one
Oh,
shot.
yeah, we got one shot, life to choose or whatever. It's the moment. Make a rap album.
Drop that mixtape.
Drop that mixtape.
Believe
We're
in
here.
yourself.
Shit. Start that business. Do what you gotta do. Shit. Live your life.
Fuck that girl's husband. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just
Yo,
kidding.
people gonna start coming for you.
Just kidding.
Just like this
Just
bitch right.
kidding.
But yeah, I love that song. I loved a couple of songs on the album. Like, I'll go through them quickly though. The first song I love is All I Need. Like, it was lively,
That's the one where his brother's in
energetic,
there. Sing a little bit.
yeah, calming. I've been singing all day. I'm not gonna keep singing.
Oh,
And the music video was like cute, it was like so cute and pure.
I
It was just about like
know. A
connection.
whole bunch of
It
kids
was
running
very,
around.
yeah, it was like it was really great. And then Laurie, I like that too.
Who's he?
Like the Laurie. It was like his words were so deep and like the chorus was so deep and it was just smooth. That was just amazing.
Mm.
And then Run to the Waters. Well, Run to Waters. I liked it. I liked the melody. It was like very upbeat. It was like a calming story time. So that was dope. And then Heavy Stone was good. It was deep as fuck. Like basically like showing his like insecurities and rising above and surrendering and deserving love and letting love like do its thing and standing strong despite all that can go wrong, even through like you like self-deprecating yourself or you know like having bad talk to yourself. You're just like rising above everything. Like that song like really hit me. And then the last one I loved was Sail Away Mama. Sail
What was that about?
away mama. Oh.
What? What? What are you doing?
That's the song. Sail away mama. Oh. Anyways, it was like his voice was like so deep. It was so sexy. And it was just good. Like it was just calming and chill. It was just like a song to like let go and like just appreciate like life. Like I don't know. This was a very like appreciate your life type
Ooh, do you feel
album.
like it's more about gratitude?
Yeah. It was definitely because I don't think he ever had gratitude in any of his other albums, but gratitude is expressed through growth.
Mm.
So I think he grew a lot and then he's just like giving back. Like this was like a giving back album. You know, I put you through all this shit and all this trauma. Now he's like giving back to us.
Okay, here's some hugs, guys. Sorry about the
It was
weirdness.
the album was kind of like a Xanax.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a Xanax album.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was dope. So now that we're done with his albums, we can talk about his most intense song. Like, I
Yes.
love this song. So the song is called No Heaven. So there's a couple of versions out there. I like the version where that I can't fucking find anymore, where he's like alone. I'm like pissed off about it. Where he's like alone with a guitar in like a basement and you can barely see his face.
Oh my god. Yeah, you know why? Because that's when from fucking MySpace. That's why. That's how I know you a
Oh, that's
true
why.
fan. You a real nigga. You remember from MySpace, nigga? Me
But
too.
yeah,
When him and
so
his brother was there. I don't remember which one.
so that song is just like so deep. Basically, like him and his brother, they're like making a pact to like commit suicide together.
Mm.
And he goes first. No,
Well,
his brother goes first.
no,
And
first
then
he's no,
he
first he's talking his brother out of it. His brother's gonna kill himself. He's trying to talk his brother out of it, and then they make the pact. It's like, you know what? If you're gonna kill yourself, then so am I.
but then when his brother kills himself, he bitches up and he doesn't do it. And instead he's like crying and
Yeah,
like
he's like, oh shit, you was serious? I didn't know you were
I
serious.
thought you was playing.
I
I thought
thought we
this was for
was
play play.
joking.
Supposed to
Nigga
be
pulled the
for play
trigger for
play.
real though.
I thought shit just got intense. We were
I
gonna
thought
be all right
we was just venting. I thought we was just talking. Like,
with a gun in our hand.
right, like just the I
Real
thought it was
nigga shit.
props, you know.
But it was just crazy. And then even after when his brother killed himself, he's like, what if there's no heaven? And he just got scared.
Mm.
And it reminded me of like, like when you think you all G'd up to do things and then you do it and then you like hyperventilate, like, oh shit, no, 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 we can't do like last minute you bitch up type shit.
So like
Like
most of
that's
my
kind of what
life.
happened.
So it's like when keeping it real goes wrong.
You think you bout it,
Mm-mm,
and then when shit go down, you not really bout
no,
it. Like you got no hands.
no.
Like
But I mean, it the end where he was contemplating whether or not there was heaven. I feel like that's what stopped him because, like, you know what, shit is terrible
mhm.
here, yes, but what if I kill myself, like, to free myself, and I don't go nowhere? Like, that's it. I just stop
And
existing.
I'm not free. What if I
Exactly.
get trapped?
Yeah, because was it his brother that was speaking of a better place? Like, he was speaking of heaven.
Right.
And he said, oh, after his brother killed himself, I was like, but what if you didn't go anywhere?
And think about it, people. This is in one fucking song.
One song. At the end, he's
Like,
just
and
like,
that
what if
song
we
is
just
crazy.
some dead niggas in these streets?
And he dead ass like counted down to his death. Like
Oh, he
he
counted
counted
out
down
before he
from
pulled the
10.
trigger. That gets me every
Like
time. And the best part is when he hits one, that get his, because before he's just strumming the guitar for the rest of the song, he
he's
gets the
like,
one, and then he starts.
"Oh, mama, what
The
have
guitar
you
sounds
done?"
bigger, and it sounds like there's three motherfuckers in that room, and it's just him.
And he's like, "What if you find yourself alone?"
Exactly. Mm.
It's crazy, but that song is just like so deep. Like it gives me chills every time. Like
Because his pen, Justin Nozuka's pen, is untouchable, unfuckwittable.
real shit,
Real shit.
dead ass. But
Unfuckwittable.
I love that song, like straight up. Um, yeah. Is Justin Nozuka Trybe Vibe approved?
Yes, after hearing about his journey completely as an artist, about knowing his pen game is strong as fuck, his vocals are
Strong,
smooth, soulful.
smooth,
He can hit them hippie bops and he can hit them sad
bopping.
boy tunes and
Mm.
still completely, even his folk songs where he's just like telling like weird ass stories, he still puts you in that world. So just after taking everything into account, he's 100% Trybe approved because he sets the vibe, he makes the vibe, he is vibe.
And he's
He is
dynamic.
vibe.
Yeah, he's vibe. He is vibe.
I
He
said a
is
vibe, but okay, let's get our
vibe.
grammar in there.
No, he's not a vibe. He's
Okay.
vibe. Like he's like so dynamic.
Dynamic,
Like
for sure.
so dynamic. He's a force of just dynamism.
Excuse me?
Wait, what is the conjugation of
I
Dynamic
feel like we
as
should
a
know that
noun.
before we start saying shit. You understand? We should know that before we say it.
He's dynamite.
For sure. All right, so
He's like
listen.
amazing.
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us on this
Bearing
journey.
with this.
Our rambling and just basically fangirling over our very first vibe review artist, Mr. Justin Nozuka.
And he was the first concert I've ever been to in my life.
Oh my god, same. Well, I mean to church concerts, but that doesn't count.
No. It does not.
It does not at all. So he's definitely Trybe approved. So please take a moment out of your life and get to know him, get to know his vibe, get to know his music.
Remember, you are here in this moment. Like, this is what I got out of the conversation. You are here.
Absolutely.
So make the best of it.
Feel it, experience it. And what I got out of it was we're all chasing that balance.
Balance.
So go on your own journey, man.
Yeah. And even if you get into some dark shit, just know you'll probably have another album that's better and brighter. So
You'll
it's
have
okay
another
if you get
album.
dark and deep.
Don't
Another
worry,
album, another chapter
this
in
is
life,
just your
whatever.
mixtape. Your sophomore album is coming out.
Yeah, because your life is a mixtape,
Oh my god.
you know? So you always have another chance at things. So, anyways, at the end of the day, hope you got something out of this.
Remember, we are experts of nothing. We are just out here in these streets.
We learn from you just as you learn from us because we are a tribe.
Until next time.
Continue to vibe.
Hey.